right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Tough one again tonight. Giants don't score again for the second consecutive game. Lose a tough one, 1-0 to the Cincinnati Reds. That's baseball, right? The Reds lose a bunch of one-run games, 1-0, and then the breaks go their way a little bit tonight as balls hit hard by the Giants' fine gloves, and what do you do? But anyway, we'll get right into it. Before we do, let us thank our sponsor of the show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in California, in Marin, licensed in all the state. Hey, if you're listening and you need help with a personal injury situation, you got an auto accident, you got a work accident, look, you got to call Chapman Law Group. You just got to, because they're there to help you. And the call's free, the consultation's free for personal injury. So give them a call. 415-613-9483. Don't settle before you give Chapman Law Group a call and let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, guys. The band will catch up with you at the end of the show. Giants lose 1-0. Really a tough battle as they don't hit the ball too well tonight. I think they only had I'm watching a Warrior game, three-pointer from the corner. Spencer, good. Warriors are up by 36 with 7 minutes to go, fourth quarter. That one's a lock. But, yeah, the Giants tonight could not get anything going. There was just absolutely no threat. They had the Casey Schmitt double early on in the game in the second inning. They were unable to get him home. And let me just pull up that actual game here, and we'll go over the scoreboard. But the Giants lose at 1-0. They only get 4 hits, no errors, played good brand of baseball, just not hitting. Little things like Elliot Ramos hitting into a double play that just right to the bag. I mean, that's just the way things go sometimes. But the top of the lineup tonight, the first 6 batters, 6 guys. Let's see, 16 plus 6, 0 for 22, top of the order, 0 for 22. It was Casey Schmitt who went 2 for 3, a beautiful double down the left field line, and then really nice at bat going to right field with 2 strikes, fouling pitches off, and then taking the pitch to right field on the outside corner, maybe even a little off the plate. Casey didn't try to pull it, just went with it, knocked it into right. That's what you got to do with 2 strikes. You got to change your approach. And Casey showed that, it was off of a lefty, and seems like he only gets at bats off of lefties. But, Senior, you got it, man. Big Oracle Park, very tough place to hit. 3 runs scored combined in the last 2 nights. 3 runs combined. 3. Count them. 1, 2, 3. You can't even have a game with less than 2 games with less than 2 runs scored. So 1 over the minimum. 1 run over the minimum in 18 innings played. Think of that. This is a tough place to hit. And the Giants have the pitching to stay in ball games. They are a bat short. I told you they should have traded for Spencer Torkelson in the offseason. Really like Torque. He's a 300-plus hitter in the minor leagues. In college, he was one of the top hitters. He struggled. And the offseason, man, the Tigers weren't even going to have a starting position for him. They were going to move Colt Keith to first base. And I can't even remember who the heck they signed. Didn't they sign Gleyber Torres? Yeah. Gleyber Torres was going to be their second baseman, but Torres got hurt. So they had to put Keith back second. Torkelson gets in at first, and Torkelson's now hitting. And he's hitting the long ball, and he's hitting for average. It's young season. It's only, 10 games into the season, 10, 11 games, whatever. But, man, that's a weak spot that the Giants have kind of had there at first base. And, I just think that you go out and get a guy like that in the offseason. Young guy, you get him cheap, wouldn't have cost you much at all. And they need a guy with some pop. And Torkelson can knock it out of the park. And I think it was worth an experiment. But now you can still get Torque, but it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you more. I've always liked Torque. I watched him at Arizona State. And if you saw him in college, he was awesome, and he tore up the minor leagues. But anyway, the Giants, Ben's Wade, 32 at-bats, only 2 walks. That's not acceptable. Yeah. Look, I think pitchers, opposing teams, they adjust, right? You look at Lamont Wade, he goes up there a lot looking for the walks. So if you throw strikes to him, just let him hit it. It's not like he blasts the ball all the time. Occasionally he'll get a hold of one and knock it in to the cove or hit the tin and home run, but he hits a lot of weak fly balls. If you look at Lamont Wade Jr., you look at a lot of his hits, he hits a lot of weak fly balls to center field that just kind of hang up there. He's not a hitter for average, Lamont Wade Jr. If he gets ahead in the count, yes, he's going to hit for average, as any big leaguer would. You get a 2-0, 3-1 count in baseball, look, you sit back and wait for your pitch. So Rothberg says, hey, look, Robert, that's only good in what's the saying? Getting close really is generally only good for hand grenades and something else. But yeah, hey, there is shame, Robert, in losing 2 games without scoring a run. You got to score runs. You can't just have a non-existent offense. Look, night games are tough at Oracle. Tomorrow, I think they'll hit a little bit better. It's a day game. It's very tough to score runs at Oracle at night. The ball doesn't carry. You saw balls hit that just kind of die. Who was the one that hit it out to right center tonight? And was that Fraley in right field or Friedel? Whoever made the great catch over the shoulder, the left-hander. That was Fraley. Yeah, Fraley playing out there in right field. Who hit that ball? You know what? I'll take a look. That was around the 5th inning, I believe. Was that Chapman that hit that in the 4th? I can't remember. Or was it Ramos? Who hit that ball? I'm looking at the flight out to the great catch by Fraley. Does anybody? Ramos. Okay, it was Ramos. Yeah, he drilled it. And dang it. I mean, that was right around the 365 mark, I think. He hit it into that little thing where it starts to jet out over toward Triples Alley. He kind of hit right there. And what is that, like the third or fourth archway, something like that? I'm reading some of your chats. Anthony Merkovich says, Dallas, there's no such thing as small ball in baseball. It's just baseball. Well, Anthony, there is a term called small ball when you try to steal bases and bunt them over, that kind of thing. Yes, it is called baseball, but it has been kind of renamed in this home run era. It's been called small ball because nobody actually does it anymore. They're all swinging for the fences. So the term small ball is an actual term in baseball now. Yes, old schoolers like us older guys, we call it old school baseball. But it's a shame we have to find a name for it and call it small ball. But that's basically what it is called. They're trying to manufacture runs. The Giants got to learn to do this. In this ballpark, you've got to know the ballpark. You've got to know situations. You've got to know the pitching. You got to know that Lodellow's tough. Lodellow's a tough pitcher. And then their bullpen, Ashcraft, has been pretty dominant. He could throw, up there in the upper 90s. And, hey, look, the Reds got off to a horrible start. Marty's 6-0 prediction took a tough hit. I said 4-2. They got to win tomorrow to make that happen. Otherwise, we're all wrong, and it's 3-3. But we'll see. We shall see how that goes. I really like the Root Birdsong piggyback. I think that is a way that they could go is Birdsong pitch 6. And I mean, you didn't use your bullpen tonight other than Birdsong. Now he's probably not available he's probably available Friday. He's going to get tomorrow off day Thursday. Birdsong could probably pitch a couple of 2-3 innings, but you probably will hold him back until Saturday, most likely. Maybe, Roop's next start is probably somewhere in Philadelphia. I think he'll be skipped, obviously, in New York. Today's Tuesday. You're probably going to have Webb. Let's see, Webb pitched Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Webb will pitch Saturday. Roop will probably, no, wait. Let's see. Verlander goes tomorrow, which is Wednesday, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Are we going to move Ray? Let's see. Ray will go Friday. Webb will go Saturday. Roop probably goes Sunday. That's on his 4 days rest. Yeah, you'll put your back in your rotation. Roop will go Saturday or Sunday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. It's probably how it goes. Then you go to Philadelphia. And wait a minute. Hicks. I'm sorry. Hicks is going to go. My fault. Hicks will go after Ray. Ray will go Friday. Hicks will go Saturday. Or I don't know what the heck I'm saying. It's confusing. Whenever they try and move Webb around, I get lost because they've been keeping Webb on this 4 days off his normal day's rest. So we'll see how it goes. But that's probably the 3 pitchers. It's probably going to be Ray, Webb, and Hicks, some combination of that. Probably Ray, Hicks, Webb, most likely. Yeah. Yeah, I get you, Robert. You can't base it on 2 pitching duels. Hey, man, Reds pitchers Hunter Green and Lodell are pretty tough. I was kind of bummed. I had Lodell on my fantasy team, on one of my fantasy teams, so he got the win. But I was obviously hoping he would get no decision tonight, and the Giants would come back and win. What do we got here? The City Connects are trash, garbage. Will says all you needed was a black jersey with the Giants font in white and either gold or orange around the white, but they had to do too much. The Reds have a great City Connect. Yeah, the purple is something a lot. It's just I don't know. It's kind of funny. I watched it tonight with the undershirts being black or orange or purple. A purple started to grow on me a little bit, if I'm being honest, but I I kind of just like the black and orange personally, I would have liked to seen, instead of the the lines on the music lines all going different ways. I would have liked to seen more things of the city, whether it be Coit Tower, the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, just cable cars, the city. It's a city connect. The purple is paying homage to New York. I'm sorry, this isn't the New York Giants. Okay? This is not the New York Giants. This is the San Francisco Giants. They left New York and came out here in 58. They've been out here, 42 plus 25, 67 years? Come on. Senior says history could happen tonight. There could be a win by a major league team in Northern California, not in San Francisco or Oakland. Sack A's 9, Padres 4. Keep it up, A's. We need the Padres to lose. And doggone it, I did not get to my bet tonight. I started to take the over, and I forgot. I got distracted up there in Sack, and I was going to do it, and then bang, I missed it. Tommy Huxley, whoa, coming strong. $2. Adames is a bum. Well, he's not hitting as predicted here by NorCal Sports Network. If you've been listening to NorCal Sports Network, I told you Adames had a career year. I said he's probably an 85, maybe 90 RBIs top guy. And he won't hit more than 20. He'll be 23 to 25 home runs. And I think that's where he lands. I really do. I really, really do. Thank you for the super chat again, Tommy. We appreciate it. I don't know if I would go so far as to call him a bum. I like Adames. I like what he does as part of a leadership, but he's not hitting. He's not hitting. What is Willy Adames done so far this year? Well, let's take a look at Willy Adames. Right now, he's hitting 200 on the season. He's had, prior to tonight, he'd been up 41 times. So he's now been up 45 times, 9 hits. Struck out 12 times before tonight. And what did he strike out tonight? He struck out 3 more times. So he struck out 15 times out of 45 at-bats. Wow. Am I doing the math right? Let me look. Coming into tonight, 41 at-bats. Now he's up to 45, 9 for 45 with 15 Ks. That's a 33% K rate. Now, I don't know if he's walked much this year, so you take into consideration plate appearances, but still, it's a very high K rate, and that's got to come down. So we'll see how this goes. What do you guys think? What may happen here? We're looking at Fitzgerald tonight. Tyler Fitzgerald was 0 for 1, but he's hitting only 179, 214 slugging. Casey Schmitt's hitting 222. I mean, very limited at bats. So you got, but is Fitzgerald, is he going to be the guy that keeps the job every day at second base? Is he going to be that second baseman? We'll see. Let me get to this other super chat here by, Propa. Is it Propa or Propa? I'm going to say Propa. Maybe Propa. Okay. Bring back the early 2000 black jersey design and have a 1980s throwback home uni. We'd have the cleanest uniforms combos in the league. Oh, yeah. I love those old black jerseys. Remember Jack Clark wearing those, and that was pretty awesome. So, yes. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Thank you for that super chat, Propa. You know what? I got to check something. Dallas says, I stepped away for a minute or two. Did I miss something? Let me go back and look at the play-by-play. Did Casey gun somebody down at the plate tonight? Tell me what inning was that, and I will look that up. I'm looking here. Reds 7th, Reds 8th. What did I miss? Top of the 6th, top of the 5th. Steer out at home. Yeah, in the top of the 5th. Trevino bunted into a fielder's choice to first, Fraley to second, Steer out at home. Darn, I missed that play. That was right after the ground rule double. Yeah, I missed that half inning. I think I stepped away for a sec. That might have been when I was watching the Warrior game. Let me see if I can pull that play up in the highlights. Maybe that there wasn't much highlights tonight, so let's see if they showed that. Give me some highlights, please. Videos. Let's take a look. They're only showing Fraley's extended catch out there in right center and Trevino's sacrifice. I did see the Casey Schmitt nice scooped up the grounder at first with runner on third, looked him back, stepped on the bag. That was nice while they were interviewing Logan Webb. I remember that. Casey looked good tonight. I told you guys that Casey was going to learn first base and that he's going to get better and better at it. And look, he's only been doing it for a week or less. He's working on that during, the games, during, warm-ups. He's working, taking grounders, getting in extra work. He looked like a solid first baseman out there tonight. I don't think you see Wilmer Flores out there playing first base much. I really don't. Robert Rothberg says, what do I think the Giants' record would be right now? They're 8-3. What did I think in the beginning of the season after 11 games? After looking at the schedule, honestly, I thought they'd have a tough time in Cincinnati and Houston. I thought they'd come home 3-3. I thought they'd be 3-3. I thought they'd win 2 of 3 against Seattle. I thought they'd be 5-4. And I figured they would win 2 of 3 here at home against Cincinnati. So that would be, let's say they're 1-1, 5-4. I guess I thought they'd be about 6-5 right now, Robert. I thought they'd be 6-5 and 7-5 after tomorrow. So they're ahead of the game. If they can win tomorrow, they will be 9-3. That would be a pretty good start. Yeah, let's see if Verlander can actually go out there and earn his veteran pay tomorrow, because that's what you need him to do. We'll see. Whoa, is that what happened? Deloading? I saw that the T-Wolves were up by 10 at halftime. Never looked at it again. Looked at it at the end of the game and saw that the Bucks had a 10-point lead with like 12 seconds left. So I thought, oh, great. T-Wolves won, but 38-3 run in the fourth quarter. That's absolutely insane. That doesn't happen in the NBA. Wow. 38-3. Wow. Hey, guys, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button. That really helps us out. As you hit that like and subscribe button, this thing gets pushed out to more people. More people learn about NorCal Sports Network. Let me see if I can hit the like button myself on here. We've got, give me a second here, and I'll tell you how many people we've got. All right. We got 76 on YouTube, and we've got 18 likes. Let's get those likes up. Everybody go ahead and hit that like right now. There's 20, 21. I just did it myself. If you would just X out in the corner there, boom, just hit the like button, and up the likes will go. That will be greatly appreciated. Takes you basically 5 seconds to help us out. All right. What else we got here in the chat? You know, the Giants tomorrow, they're going to face tomorrow's going to be Justin Verlander on the hill against Nick Martinez. Nick Martinez, a crafty righty, doesn't have overpowering stuff, more of an old school type pitcher that relies on location and mixing his pitches. So Giants should, have a shot at Nick Martinez tomorrow. I would think, on the year, he's got a 5.91 ERA. He's pitched 10 2/3 innings. He's given up 9 hits, 7 Ks, 3 base on balls, and 3 home runs. Now, again, he pitches in that Cracker Jacks box of a stadium there at in Cincinnati. The Giants have, let's see, besides Friday's opening day 10-9 win for the Giants, where home runs by Chapman, that was the only home run that they got that day, Chapman. On Saturday, they won 4-1, and there was no home runs by the Giants on Saturday. On Sunday, the Giants won 5-4. And let's see, any long balls on Sunday? Yaz, the one to the opposite field. So the Giants have played 5 games at their home ball field, 2 home runs. 2. Okay? So 2 home runs in 5 games. That's, you're getting oracled. Let's see what the opponents have hit against the Giants. Polanco and Rodriguez homered off Verlander, so that's 2 that the Giants gave up. On Saturday, the Mariners only scored 1 run, and that was a long ball by Moore. So they gave up 3 home runs. On Sunday, didn't Rodriguez get another one on Sunday? Let's see. So they've given up 3, and then Rodriguez hit 1, and Raleigh hit 1. So the Giants have given up 5 home runs, and then in this series, nothing, right? There's been no long balls at all in this series against Cincinnati. I'm just looking here just to make sure. Yeah. So 5 home runs the Giants have given up to 2. No, Anthony, I didn't watch the comparison of the torpedo to regular bats. I didn't see that. Maybe somebody can send me that. So, that's just spent my 45th birthday in Calistoga. All right. Been absent for 5 days. Man, these losses are okay, but it's time to correct the ship. Got to win tomorrow. You win tomorrow, successful homestand. All is lost and forgotten as far as what happened tonight and last night. You win tomorrow, you go 4-2. 4-2, everybody. If you did that on a regular basis, you're going to be in the playoffs, right? I mean, you win 4 out of every 6, you're playing 667 ball. You're going to win over 100 games doing that. Think about it. If you played that kind of ball, you'd win 107 games. That's pretty much what the Giants did in 21, won 4 out of every 6 games. So I have to watch. Will Clark said about the torpedo bats. You can only, oh gosh. If I had torpedo bats, come on. I would have, yeah, he would have been, I can only imagine exactly. So, tomorrow the Giants can salvage it all. Literally. Can be a very successful homestand, 4-2. You got to remember what I said. On the road, play 500 ball. At home, 600 ball. Tomorrow they can accomplish that, and they've already won 5 of 6 on the road trip. So we'll see where this thing goes. So let me hear from you guys shortly here, and we'll do a quick 15 minutes wrap up. Anybody wants to come in and join the show, we'll get your take on it. And let me put that out in the chat for you guys here in 2 seconds. All right, there we go. I just put that out in the chat. Anybody wants to come in quickly, and we'll do a deep dive on the game. Can I get the thrill on the show? I have tried, Philip. I have tried. It's tough. We do have Glenn Kuiper, former A's announcer and brother of Dwayne Kuiper, will be joining us Thursday night. So that'll be an off day for the Giants, but Glenn will join us at our regular time at 7:45. So you'll want to be here for that. And we welcome in Deloading to the show. Deloading, what's your thoughts on tonight's game? And what do you think? Is it time to panic about the offense, or is just oracled? Are the Giants just getting oracled?
I think they're just getting oracled. I think that speaking in absolutes already after every single game at this part of the season is just kind of ridiculous. Like, they only struck out 5 times tonight. They just couldn't hit into open spots. And if Ramos's ball gets over that guy in right field, then the game's tied. So,
Yeah.
it's just the long season. Stuff like this happens. So,
hey, look at Ramos. He got robbed last night to end the game, hit the ball 107 miles an hour. Then
exactly.
He hits a rope tonight. Look at this is how baseball goes. The Reds lose a bunch of 1-0 games, right? I'm sure things happen to them in those games where balls just, diving catches, hit it the wrong guy, wrong spot. Look, the Reds have made a few nice diving catches. Give them credit. The Reds, they're not going to come in here and just, die. I mean, now the Giants have played the Reds 5 times, and it's the Reds have won 3 and the Giants have won 2. So even on the season, the Giants can't win the series. Best they can do is split with them. I've got Cincinnati coming in second place in the West this year behind Chicago. So I think, since Cincinnati's a team that's young, they got a really good manager, Terry Francona, and, baseball's a tough, this is going to be, as you said, you can't just look at each game and look at it. What I look for is not so much just the outcome, but how they winning, how they losing, how they playing. They're playing good, fundamentally sound baseball. There was no mistakes tonight. They played flawless defense. They just got the one run early, Cincinnati, and it held up. And what I look for is things like last night where Duvall can't find his, the plate, and he looks like he lacks confidence right now. And in a situation like that, I say, okay, you got to make an adjustment. You can't put Duvall right now you can't put him in a in a game in a high leverage situation until he proves himself that he can get back to being, the all-star Duvall. So I don't say, like, hey, he sucks. He's going to, he's had a couple of bad outings. He also had a couple of decent, pretty good outings to start the season. So, I'm not going to get on Duvall and say, get rid of him. I may, if he keeps it up,
Yeah.
but
it's 162 games for a reason.
Correct.
There's no reason to overreact over every single little thing. Like the Dodgers got blown out today by Washington. Padres are down a ton to Oakland. So, stuff like this happens. They lost 1-0, and their pitching still looks really good. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Birdsong to start the year. He looks incredible. Yeah, I don't know. Just stuff like this happens. It's baseball.
Yeah, that's a good point. Always never want to lose a season series to a team that you might end up having to compete with a playoff spot. Absolutely. Still early, but like you said, after tomorrow, you can't change it. So I think the Giants will come out tomorrow, and I think I'm going to predict tomorrow that the Giants actually put up. I think they win tomorrow. I want to say like 4-3. I think they win. I think they put up some runs tomorrow, and they break out of it a little bit.
Early.
Yeah, 12:45 start. I think they'll win tomorrow like 4-3. I think Verlander goes.
Yeah, and they're
5.
That's one of the weaker pitchers they'll go against for Cincinnati too.
Yeah,
They knocked him around a little bit the first time they faced him too.
Yeah, I would be surprised if the Giants put up 6 or 7 even tomorrow. He's not going to throw a lot of. What the Giants struggle with is guys that generally throw hard, like Hunter Green. Now, Lodelo's is deceptive because of his delivery. He only throws 93-ish, but it looks like it's coming in at 95, 96 because of his the way he delivers. So
I also feel like they usually have more issues with pitchers that are on the younger side, whether it's just a tape issue, like they there's just not enough tape on him, or I feel like younger pitchers kind of deceive them a little bit more over the past few years, but maybe not. Maybe that's just projecting, but I kind of feel that way.
Yeah. So we'll see. Tomorrow's lineup, they're facing Martinez, so they're going to go whack with leading off will be Wade at first base. Batting second tomorrow is going to be Adames. At third, batting third will be Lee. Fourth, Chapman. Fifth will be Ramos. Sixth will be Yaz. Seventh will be Flores, the DH. 8 will be Bailey catching. 9's interesting. I think they go with Fitzgerald tomorrow just because they need some speed and maybe make some things happen on the bases. But it wouldn't shock me if he followed back up with Casey Schmitt at second. I think it's a little too early to do that move because it might not, might send a message. But you also had Casey getting 2 hits. We'll see. I don't know what the matchups are this weekend because anytime a guy gets a couple of hits, even though it's off of a lefty,
I think they
I
might
just
go Casey tomorrow.
they might. That's the one thing. Casey may go tomorrow at second base. He did get
Like,
look. They pinch hit for Fitzgerald. They did not pinch hit for Schmitt tonight. Did you
I
notice
just feel
that?
like, yeah, and Fitzgerald's at bats have been rough. Like, I haven't had any confidence with them. Like, I don't
So
know.
one, so one thing I said coming into the season, I didn't have confidence in Fitz to put the ball in play because nothing against Fitz, but his streak last year, nobody knew him. They hadn't seen him. We see this happen a lot in the big leagues. And then guys, they figure out, oh, he can't hit it where if you throw it in this area, high and in, or I mean, Cody Bellinger, years ago, I don't know if he's really corrected much, but he couldn't hit the high fastball. He just swung and missed it all the time.
Yeah, he's
And
had one hit since March 31st, and it was kind of a weak hit grounder up the middle for a
didn't he have a
single.
hit? I thought he had a hit last night, a solid single. Was it last
Yeah,
night or the night
that's
before?
the hit I'm talking about, I think. If I can
Was
remember,
it?
because he hasn't
I think it
gone
was
one
a
since
pretty.
March 31st besides last night.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I thought you meant he's only had a hit. The last hit was March 31st. Okay, so
No, no,
yeah.
no. Before that.
Okay. Yeah, I could see Casey getting the start tomorrow, giving Fitzgerald a couple days off to think about it. When the Giants travel to New York on Friday, they are going to be facing Marcus Stroman. On Saturday, it'll be Robbie Ray. And then, or Friday, excuse me, on Saturday, 12 o'clock start. Friday start will be a 4:05 start for us here. Saturday will be a 12:05 start on FS1, so it'll be the national televised game. It'll be Jordan Hicks against Will Warren, a right-handed pitcher. They can beat him. And then Sunday it'll be Webb against Rodon. So that'll be the right-handed lineup on Sunday. I think
That's
somewhere.
Sunday. That's a big day in Bay Area sports. Got the Warriors at 12:30 too.
Oh, that's right.
And that
That game's
game,
at 10:30. So that game will probably end probably as the first quarter is ending for the
yeah,
Warriors.
and that game is either gonna be like either they don't need it and it's kind of just a rest day, or it's gonna be extremely important and basically like a playoff game.
Yeah. If they need it to beat out the Clippers they may need it for two. I think they're not going to need it as a top 6 seed because Minnesota lost tonight and Minnesota and the Grizzlies play Thursday night. So there's another loss for one of those teams. And the Warriors hold the tiebreaker over them. So if the Warriors win the next two, they guarantee themselves a top 6 seed because
Yeah,
they have
sorry, go ahead.
one less loss than let me look at the standings just to make sure. Right now, the Warriors are tied in the loss column with Memphis and one ahead of Minnesota. So Memphis loses one more and the Warriors win the next two. Warriors have a top 6 because, they guarantee it. They win the next 3. Denver loses tomorrow night to the Sacramento Kings. Warriors can move into the 4 spot, which be sweet.
It's a
That would
crazy
be.
situation going on over in Denver too.
Yeah, I saw that immediately. I got the Shams Charnia tweet, and I have it on alert, so I saw it immediately, and I thought, my goodness, what's going on in Denver? But that's crazy. That's crazy. But we'll talk about Warriors basketball later on. Hey, guys, by the way, Thursday night, again, we're going to have Glenn Kuiper join us. We'll talk, Giants baseball, and we'll have a lot of fun doing that and get his take on the early season Giants. Hey, they're 8-3 and they're playing sound baseball. So I told you guys they're going to be in all these games, even though tonight was kind of like last year watching a boring baseball, it still felt different. It still felt different because they're 8-2 and you're hoping and thinking that they're going to come back. And they're one swing away, either from taking the lead at times or tying it up. And so you keep your head in the game because why? Because they're 8-2 and not 2-8, right? You're 2-8, you're turning the TV off when it's 0-0 the whole game. You're not that interested. You're just not. That's what winning baseball does. So the Giants are going to win more than they lose this year. I'm really pretty sure of that. That's why I bet the over 79.5. I've got them going 86 and 76. I think it's going to be a fun season, and I'm hoping they prove me wrong and win 90 plus and make the playoffs. It would be fun to see playoff baseball again in San Francisco. But overall, you look at somebody like the Chicago White Sox who lost 121 games last year. They're actually on pace to lose 129 this year. They're 2-8. They're playing 200 ball. They played 250 ball last year, winning 41 games and losing 121. That's absurd. Right now, they're projected to win about 33, 34 games at this pace. So that'll change, I'm sure. But my question for you guys out there, and this is for the chat, for deloading. Do you go out and make a play for Luis Robert? Because he's going to get traded. The White Sox are not going to get nothing for him. And why would you sign Luis Robert and pay him, take his club options over the next 2 years and pay him on such a crappy team going nowhere? You're going to get something for him. And he's got 2 years of control to a team that picks up his option. So I think you can still get something pretty good for Luis. They could get something pretty good for Luis Robert. So do you go out and try and pull a fast one like AJ Preller did and getting Luis Arias last year early on in the season? I think, it's obvious the White Sox are going to lose 100-plus games. What's the purpose of keeping Luis Robert Jr. on your team? I can't tell me one good reason, because if he gets hurt, his value's down the tubes. I'm going after Luis Robert, and I'm going to make him, my everyday player. And I don't know. What do? Do you put him in center or you put him in right field if you go after him, or do you go after him? Chat, what do you think, deloading? Do you go after Luis Robert Jr.?
Yeah, I wanted them to go after him since last year. And my long shot hope was that they could somehow manufacture a trade for Vladdy, but that's not even on the
Yeah,
table
that's
anymore.
not possible now.
But I do think
Yeah.
you go after Luis Robert. Just get another power bat in there. It couldn't hurt.
All right, so now who goes? If Luis Robert Jr. goes, that means Yaz and Matos do not have a spot in your outfield. It's Ramos, Lee, and Luis Robert Jr. Or do you make a guy like Matos your DH? I mean, what do you do?
Well, I was thinking you somehow make Luis Robert your DH. And
You
then
could.
try to fit Wilmer back into the first base spot.
No, I don't want Wilmer at first base. You know why? He'll get hurt.
Yeah, I get that. You don't want him to get taxed on his body.
Let's see let's take a look at the trade machine and kind of play with it and see what's it going to take to get a Luis Robert Jr. I'll pull up the machine here. Let me all right, I'll get this guy's pull this up one sec here. All right. And keep in mind, these values are subjective. They're not exact science, but they're more for give you a basis for where you need to start. Okay. So we're going to do two teams. We're going to do the Giants, and we're going to do the White Sox. All right. So let's first of all, oops, it's on my side. Let's take a look at the White Sox and what we got to know what we're looking at in Luis Roberts' value. All right. Luis Robert Jr. is a 16. I don't know if that's gone up or down, but he's 16. So we're going to trade him to the Giants. So you're looking at something like 16, and the Giants, that's not going to take as much as you think. The White Sox, I believe he hasn't been traded because the White Sox are trying to get a king's ransom and nobody wants to pay it. So let's go to the surplus and go top to bottom. Okay, Logan, well, okay. Harrison would do it by itself, according to this, at 22.7. Roop's value shooting way up. Nice. You could probably do a Duvall if you wanted to go that route. He's still young enough. The White Sox don't even have a closer. And you could probably, you might have to go Matos, which Matos value is 7.4. So you probably go a Matos, since you're replacing him with Robert, and now you're actually right there. Two major leaguers for one. Now the White Sox might say that's not enough. We want a minor league pitcher. Or maybe they say we want a minor league bat, right? Maybe they say we want a guy that has Luis Robert upside. And do you bite the bullet with the Dakota Jordan? I kind of would. He's not I'm just going to put Dakota Jordan. He's kind of most like Luis Robert, and he's years away. There you go. I mean, that's a trade. Huh?
I kind of like Jordan.
Well, sure. That's kind of why the White Sox would probably, I think they would say, well, let's do this.
Yeah.
You're not giving up any young pitching here. You're not giving up Harrison. You're not giving up. I mean, you are giving up potential, Duvall, but he's been shaky. And you're looking at Matos, which I'd love to keep, but I think Matos is a guy that, if you got a Luis Robert Jr., you've got a power threat in the lineup there. Let's bring in Dallas and see what he's got to say about this. What do you think, Dallas?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I mean you hate to give up Matos, but you have a more known commodity in Robert. So
he's a potential 30-30 guy if he's not in Oracle. You put him in a lot of ballparks on a good team. I mean, the Giant, he's a piece that the Giants haven't. They don't have that kind of. I mean, Ramos is probably the closest to it, right? That's a threat at the plate when he comes up.
Yeah.
They kind of had Soler with it last year, but they don't have anything like it this year.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what Matos does. I mean, they've messed around with him so much. They're like, let's have him be a power hitter. Let's have him bulk up, but now let's have him lose some weight, get down, and try and be more of a slap hitter. And I don't know. We don't know where he's going to end up. It's still up in the air. So I think I would do it.
I just don't see the pop in his bat. Like
who, Robert or Matos?
Matos.
Yeah, I don't really.
The ball just doesn't just
it doesn't
using the eye test. The ball doesn't jump off the bat.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
it doesn't. But he doesn't strike out that very much, which is nice. Right. The Giants don't have very many of those type of hitters. But I mean, it's not going to happen right away. I think we'll have a better look at him as this season goes on, provided he gets some playing time. So by the time we get to the point in the season where this trades could possibly happen, then hopefully we'd have a better idea.
Yeah, tonight, Matos was 0 for 3 and, didn't really smoke the ball that I recall, did he? I mean, am I missing anything? I don't think he's hit a ball in a line tonight, did he? That
I don't remember it. No,
I don't recall it. Like,
it was more so just like flyouts.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me about it, because I somehow missed it. I must have walked away for 2 or 3 minutes, and the top of the fifth, where the ground, I saw the highlight of Ramos turn and twisted the wrong way. But what happened on the force out at the plate where Schmitt? What was it, a bunt?
Oh yeah. No, so man on first and third, if I'm remembering correctly, and it was kind of like a weakly hit, grounder to first. Schmitt digged it out and then threw like a perfect ball to Bailey.
He charged it. He was going home all the way, and he played it like a third baseman.
Oh, see, you don't get that. Wilmer doesn't make that play, does he?
No,
very few people would make that play.
Wow. See, I kind of like Casey playing first base, guys, because it's the opposite of the hot corner. It's kind of a hot corner for left-handed batters, and Casey's going to figure it out. It's just, he's just is on the different side of the field. It's like, I don't know. I do think he figures it out, and I think he becomes the everyday, not the everyday, but the against left-handed pitching, and he might work himself into that position if he hits. If Casey can hit 250 plus and drive the ball and cut down on his strike, and he only struck out about 20% of the time, less than many of the guys on the team last year. He only had 107 at bats, though. Okay.
Yeah.
You get this guy 300 at bats, and he's still striking out 20% or less, and he's hitting 250. And keep in mind, didn't he have how many home runs did he have last year? 6, something like that. I think it was 6 and just 107 at bats, which is pretty good. So we'll see. We'll see what they can do. I mean, there's options. There's flexibility. Whoever came up with the idea of Casey at first base, I think, just really strengthened the depth of the team. More options.
Yeah, well, it does give him an option to play. He wasn't getting much playing time, so
right.
That first game, of course, he's in there playing his first game at first base, and the baseball gods find him and make him look bad on a couple of plays.
Yeah.
But this game, he kind of made up for it. He played a perfect first base and made some outstanding plays that you wouldn't, or at least one that a lot of other guys wouldn't make. So
yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Let's bring in Chardal briefly as we get ready to close. Chardal, welcome to the show.
So I went to the Giants game, the first game of the Reds series. With my friend. We had a really great time at the ballpark. The result wasn't what we expected. We lost 2-0. So I think the Reds are gonna sweep us. I think how they're.
Chardal, you're usually Mr. Positive. You usually have
the Reds are a really good team, and the way they're playing right now, they might sweep us. Who knows? You never know.
Oh, hey, it's very possible.
You never know, right? You got to look at the side that how they're playing right now, right? They might sweep us.
It's a big question mark tomorrow.
It's going to be hard.
Verlander shows up.
It's going to be heartbreaking, but if it happens, it happens. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, correct. As far as Verlander tomorrow, I've got to say that I think more of the first game of his start of the season shows up. I think
second game, Verlander, he couldn't put people away. He just didn't have that finishing pitch. It wasn't working for him. And then he ended up walking guys and throwing too many pitches, and they had to pull him. He needs to
He's got to
bounce
throw a
back from
good
that.
game at Oracle, because if he doesn't, it might start getting into his head, because this is his, the World Series in 12, and then game last Friday, opening day. If he throws another game where he's getting hit up and lit up in this park, yikes, that's gonna be.
I wouldn't worry about his confidence. I mean, he's such a veteran.
But yeah, he's but still, it's just kind of.
I would just worry. There's always that fear when someone gets to that age that maybe you've lost a step, maybe you don't have it anymore. Can you still compete? Eventually, there's a point where you don't anymore, and he's going to have to prove to himself that he's not at that point yet. And if he pitches great, we're in good shape. If he struggles, it doesn't make it out of the second inning again, all of a sudden, a lot of questions come up. A lot of question marks start popping up about the Giants' rotation in general and, what's going to happen. So I hope, for all of our sakes and the sakes of everybody that has to worry about the Giants and talk about it, that he does well tomorrow, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of unsure people and negativity and gloom and doom.
Right. I do think that the focus for Verlander, especially tomorrow, is go out and just give it everything you got. We want 15 outs from you, and 90 to 100 pitches. Give it all you got, and you're done. Don't worry about trying to get into the sixth inning.
You got a fresh bullpen. They're all loaded up for tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about that. But
Dallas, so what were your thoughts on the injury sustained by Ramos, the left oblique strain that he sustained during the game? That was a blow, man. He sustained it was today, April 8th. He was making a catch and he sustained a left oblique strain.
Seriously,
it happened. It happened
didn't see
today.
anything about this.
No, but when I looked on Google and I looked it up, Elliot Ramos injury, it happened today, April 8th.
I think you might have gone misinformed.
That was in spring training. In spring training, he had
it happened today. It happened today against the Reds. It was a regular season game. It happened. You could look it up. He's going to be sidelined for a couple of weeks with the injury. He's not going to be playing for a couple of weeks.
I think you got fake news. I think that's just clickbait.
Yeah, I'm going to check with...
Somebody posted that online, and I looked it up online about it.
Well, you got to be
careful. It might be true. You never know. It might be true.
I'm going to find out
He
right
finished
now.
the game tonight.
95% of the things that you see on the internet are sometimes true.
There's nothing on Elliot Ramos after the post game. So, Chardal, we can't have fake news on NorCal Sports Network. So,
Dan, so make sure to click the like button, smash the subscribe button, ring that notification bell for the NorCal Sports Network. Dan makes some great Giants content up on here. So if you like everything he's doing up in here, please click that. Please click the like and subscribe button. Show some love to Dan. Tough loss for the Giants today. They lose 1-0 to the Reds in Game 2 of the series. They play tomorrow, Game 3. Verlander's pitching for the Giants. Nick Martinez is pitching for the Cincinnati Reds on the mound. We gotta win that game tomorrow. Or the Reds are gonna get the 3-game sweep over us, and then we head over to New York. The Yankees. We go to New York for a 3-game series. April 11th, April 12th, and April 13th. So we, if we don't get the job done tomorrow, we can go to New York and get the job done there and sweep the Yankees.
All right,
let's just worry about tomorrow first. One game at a time.
There we go. Thanks for joining us, Chardal. Thanks for the wrap
up. Thanks for having me on the show, and I'll definitely see you on another Giants postgame show.
All right, thanks, Chardal. All right, there we go. Chardal is giving us a little
negativity there. He's not confident in the team tomorrow.
Yeah. So we'll see. Let's close it with this. The Giants put out the new City Connect uniforms. The head of marketing talked about them. You saw different paraphernalia, beanie hats and jackets and different socks and matching belts and different undershirts, whether it was purple or orange or black. Give me your take on the unis and tell me which look did you like best tonight. Did you like the purple undersleeves, black, or orange?
All right, so I'm a traditionalist. I would prefer they wear the cream colored home jersey every single day, and we don't have to do orange Fridays or whatever and black Saturdays and Grateful Dead Tuesdays. You know, it's like eventually you run out of days of the week. But that said, the Giants did not hit a home run tonight, but I think they hit a home run with these jerseys from a sales statistic. They're going to sell a lot of those jerseys, hats, whatever, with the logo, with the different colors. And they have just opened up a huge windfall of people buying all this stuff. So good for them. I
definitely think the 35 and under crowd loves it. The older crowd, based on a lot of Twitter responses that I saw and tweets out there, hate it. I kind of hated it when I first saw it, but it grew on me as I watched the game. I got to admit, I thought it's not as bad as I first thought, because you see the player, I actually thought the best look was the Chapman look, the orange. The purple is more to me for the younger crowd. It's kind of
sure. I think the older crowd will like the orange, but I kind of like the purple. I kind of like the
it's not bad.
Variety.
It's not as
the variety. I kind of enjoyed.
It is. It's kind of, I get the variety, and I see the and they're, these are for the next 4 years. You're right. They're going to sell a ton of them. It's going to be a windfall. And that's basically why you have all the different jerseys, because you want the blacks, you want the oranges, you want the creams, and now you've got the City Connects. I mean, I didn't like, where's my City Connect hat? I don't care for the creamsicles, because it's not really orange. It's not a true orange. It reminds me of a 50-50 bar, or something that you had as a kid. But the one thing I liked about the I'm trying to find I got reorganized. I like the Golden Gate on the side of the City Connect hats.
Yeah,
I thought that was good. I wasn't crazy about the fog, because it was just, but these
didn't know what they were, and then the light color, it's kind of that washed out cream color. It was fine. I like that they won a lot of games in those. So I kind of
well, hopefully they're not going to be. Hopefully we're not going to. These new ones have the opposite effect. Didn't they win like 12 of 13 wearing those or something to start the first year or two? And it was like, let's hope we don't have that opposite effect, or we start losing them. I mean, you're pretty young, deloading. You probably like them.
Well, I was going to say, as someone, not only am I under the 35 crowd, I'm under the 25 crowd, and every single one of my friends that I've talked to, we don't like them. We just don't like them. Yeah. I thought they looked better on the players than they did in the initial picture we saw that got leaked like a week or two ago.
Right.
Because some of the accessories they wear that make the colors pop out a little bit more, I just don't like them. I think they should have just gone with those like 1989 all white with the like Giants across the middle, and just gone with a throwback variation. I don't like the colors on them, to be honest. And if you do that black, I think they should have done black pants with it.
What would it look like in gray pants? Because they're traditional grays on the road. If they incorporated gray and black, I've never seen that look. But there was somebody that put out, and I showed it on here a couple weeks ago on Twitter. They had like pictures of the buildings of San Francisco. You can see they were black jerseys, and they had orange. You could see different things. And then it said the city across the front instead of Giants. I like that. I like seeing the city, because when I was a kid in Concord, I grew up with my aunts and uncles. Oh, hey, we're going into the city. We're going to the city. Well, that was San Francisco. We're not, we're in the East Bay. We're not going over to the city of Danville. We're not going to El Sereno. We're going to the city. And the Warriors, when they first came here, their jerseys were the city.
Right.
Across. And I think that jersey was nice. If you're going to have something to connect with the Giants, the city, they're called City Connects. That's why I don't understand the purple, because I get it, the music and all that, but they're saying it's because of New York. They're coming out and saying the purple comes from the New York Giants. And I'm like,
yeah, but it wasn't even the same. Wasn't the same purple. I looked it up today. It was like kind of a mauve colored, kind of a lighter purple.
Yeah.
But, okay, that's just a marketing thing. They're going to tie it back to their heritage or whatever to kind of explain the purple. It's fine. It's just about selling merchandise.
Yeah.
And they're going to sell a ton of it. We're going to be wearing these old hats with this old logo, and half of the people in that stadium are going to be wearing that new logo. And it's going to work out well for the Giants. I think they're going to, it's going to be a phenomenon.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people that are wearing those jerseys. No doubt. We saw some in the crowd tonight that had already bought them.
A lot. So,
yeah. So anyway, guys, tomorrow, we'll, probably do a short post game, right after the ball game, which be somewhere right around 3:00, 3:15. We'll do a post game then. I think I'll have to get with my producer on this, and I always like to come on right after the game, just even if it's a quick one, 20, 30 minutes. And then, maybe we'll do our regular time. We do have a Warriors home game tomorrow night against San Antonio. So that may, interfere. We'll see what's going on. But Thursday night we'll be back on for sure with Glenn Kuiper as well. So tomorrow we'll do right after the game, because the Warriors will be playing and during our 7:45 slot, and I don't really want to be doing a post game while there's 3 Warrior games left in the season. So, so you guys, appreciate you being here, and, give yourself, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks to Dallas and Deloading for stepping in, and, your comments. Really appreciate that. Chardal, even though you were a little bit negative, telling us you think the Giants are going to get swept. Appreciate you coming in with your comments, Chardal. And we will see you guys tomorrow afternoon as the Giants go for a way to salvage being swept. And I think they get it done. I'm taking Giants tomorrow by a score of 4-3. And I might cheat a little bit and say they get 5 or 6, but we'll see. All right. Take care, everybody.
Sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secret stars.
right, everybody. Appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll catch you tomorrow afternoon here on North Town Sports Network. Take care, everybody.